And we're live. How's it going, everybody? Today in the studio, I have this artist that I recently started working with named GiRL, aka Awaken Sponda. Say what up.
What's up? How's everybody doing?
We're doing good.
Yeah, in the crowd screams.
Yeah. I just recently met you actually through Justin, aka Jerry Feels Good, my roommate, and you started working with him on some original music. Mm-hmm. And it's funny, you also know my good friend and old bandmate, Matt Tootin.
Yes.
You've done work with him as well. And that's really cool. That just like the integrated network, just it's like this city gets smaller and bigger at the same time somehow.
Exactly.
How did you get to be on this whole journey? Because there's so much to sort of unearth, I feel, within who you are as a person and who you are as an artist.
The journey with GiRL or being GiRL, the artist?
Yeah,
or,
sure,
yeah.
Sure. You can like disambiguate it one thing at a time. Yeah.
Well, okay, so with hip hop or rap, like I started kind of with that in my later 20s is when I started like rapping and exploring music and whatnot. Of course, well, that's just hip hop. Now, if you take it way back when I was a kid, I mean, I was writing songs on guitar and stuff when I was young. But
nice.
So music's always been huge, you know, and then just on my journey of life and my wild journey, like I left hip hop around like about 12 years ago. And I say leave it. It's like I just had some crazy things happen in life, and it just led me to kind of put the mic down for a little bit, and then along that journey, sound entered my life, and you know, and so it's just weird. Like it's just the rhythm of life kind of got me here now, and so now we're on the sound journey, but we're also now adding the hip hop and the rap.
Yeah, because I was reading on your Spotify sort of about you, where it's like you went through this sort of like hiatus.
Yeah, my sabbatical, I say.
Yeah, the sabbatical, that 12-year sort of interim that you were referring to just then.
That's the best way I know how to put it, because it's like I didn't really choose it. It kind of chose me, and I just like went with it. And but it makes sense now, because it's like I had to even be where I am with it now is, you know, I had to learn this meditation thing and learn, I don't know, there's just things, it's a lot deeper than that, I think, actually. But yeah.
And that's what was kind of initially surprised me, because like I said, I don't even really know you that well. So this would be a good opportunity for us to get to know each other better, because it's like at first glance, when, you know, Justin showed me the song that y'all are working on that I'm helping mix and master and all that stuff, as well as Matt Tootin. There's numerous people in on this. It was like I didn't foresee that you would be a kind of sound meditation healer, like with these fancy bowls, made by Meinl, which is really cool.
Right.
But yeah, so how that, like, there's almost like a sort of like dichotomy or something to me. And that's why I was like, wow, okay.
You didn't put that together.
Yeah, you know, like with the sound of, but I didn't really,
You just didn't know me yet.
And I feel like you're just also getting started with like, with this, with the alias GiRL.
Yeah. Well, I've always, it's brand new. So like, it's funny. This is a whole nother journey too. It's like, I just started the Instagram for like my music page, and a lot of people are in shock, you know? It's funny.
So,
because they're like, wait, I mean, it just goes to show you don't know people until you really know people, you know what I mean? Because people who really know me knew I used to do this, but you had to have known me also for like a while. But all my people, like most people I know now, like through the community, like where I do meditations and stuff like that, they were like, holy shit. They're like, what is this?
Which is really cool.
It's wild.
So then explain to me, you started out with like the alias Awaken Sponda as sort of like the name that embodies like the sound healing.
Yeah. So Awaken Sponda is basically the entity of the whole, like it's my work really. And as I like to put it, it's like my soul purpose. It's how it feels to me. It's like the work I'm kind of meant to do. I take joy in it. But awaken means, obviously awaken, but Sponda is a Sanskrit word it stands for the primordial vibration of the universe and of our being. So it's an ancient word. It's actually based in the tantric yogic practice. But it came to me like, it just kind of like, a lot of Awaken Sponda was truly a download, and that's a whole story in itself.
I'm familiar.
Yeah.
with those downloads. It's not just the internet.
Yeah. It just happened. It was, everything kind of showed up. It was like, this is what it is. This is what you're going to do. This is how you're going to do it. And it literally happened like that. It sounds crazy, but so that's what kicked it off, I guess.
And it's interesting because in this day and age, 2024, it's like everything with sound has gotten to like such this almost like damn near point of like chaos, and it's all over the place. Like you didn't really have it like this back in the ancient times, and things like this with the bowls and everything, that is more rooted in like ancient times, where it's like things have kind of like morphed over time, but it's almost like, it's like you really don't see this anymore, even though things like that would be like the main source of like music and sound that you would hear back in the day.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's a lot of sound is really just, it helps us remember things.
Interesting.
When we come to Earth and when we get dropped off, it's like it's like this whole process of uncovering our soul, basically. And that's where that's where life is interesting to me. That's the whole point to me. It's like we're just uncovering our souls, really.
So then why did you choose to basically go from the whole Awaken Sponda thing to a separate alias moniker with GiRL? Like why are those two different things? And explain that.
Yeah. Well, I think because GiRL, I was GiRL 12 years ago.
Oh, damn.
So this was, that was what I went by back in the day, too. So GiRL just basically was rebirthed.
I see.
So it's just, to be honest, I mean, sound, because I work with music, I work with instruments, I've been kind of like, the funny thing is I've had a vision of this since I started Awaken Sponda. I had a vision like that within the first like few months of starting, because I found all my old music at some point. The journey kind of took me into that at some point, and I was like, man. And there's been times where really like I've just like, I miss this so much, because that was my expression, my vocal expression. I'm not like a Beyonce. I'm not a singer. I'm not like, most people like when I say I do music, they just automatically assume I sing.
Yeah.
We don't think a girl like me might rap, but off of just straight judgment. But yeah. So I think I knew it would be I would marry these two elements at some point, and I found myself at a point like last year where I was just it was like clockwork, because I started feeling very like what's the word? Like when you just feel stagnant with something, or like I just
it grows stale.
Yeah, I was just kind of in this like lull. Like I'm like, man, I've done all this. Like it's like, what's next, kind of thing, And then the way the universe set it up, it was like a good friend of mine, Mike Live, like came into my life.
Oh yeah, Mike Live.
Yeah, and
fuck yeah, y'all know each other.
Yes, well, but yeah, I knew him. Like, I mean, I met him when he just moved here from North Carolina, and when nobody knew Mike Live. So like, so we kind of started way back then, and I helped him with his first show here.
Oh wow.
And so he was really one of the only people that knew, because I told him, of course, I was like that I rap, but I just wasn't into it at the time. It's kind of like funny because you hear Andre 3000 talk about that now. He's like, he's just not in the space right now, and it's like that's where I was. It's just like I'm not really in the space to rap right now. I'm in the space to be doing meditation. I was building Awaken Sponda, and anyway, so he just, the way the universe set it up, it was about last year around about this time, like we kind of started hanging out again, and so I started going to the shows more. Started like hanging out in the scene, and then it just kind of it started from there. I started watching people, observing what they were doing, and I was like, man, why am I not like sharing? Because it's like being a musician and just watching people and not doing it. It's
it's
wait
like
a second.
you feel like
It just
you
started burning.
belong
It
back
started
on the
burning.
stage.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
was just like it became a very deep burning desire. And then I just followed the steps of my intuition. And, it was I was really scared to get back on the mic at first,
Yeah, of
I was
course.
terrified actually to reveal myself in that way.
Oh, it's okay to be a little nervous.
Yeah. But, as it pans out, it's like, it's right where I need to be.
I like to hear that. And so you basically currently have one song out.
Yes. Currently available out and about.
Yeah. And
one song
there,
so far.
There is a music video for that one as well, right?
Shakina.
Yep. Yeah, it's like y'all shot that one at the skate park. Yeah, under the bridge.
Yep. And that was wild because that was totally unexpected. I had actually said I don't want to do the skate park because I was like, everybody does stuff there.
Might
so I was
seem
like,
cliche.
nah. And then we ended up there.
Yeah, you're like,
Yeah, it happened to be like the coldest and wettest day. We had like this beautiful week. I was out at the pool. I was in Florida the week before, or the weekend before, and then all of a sudden on the date we had set up, it was freezing cold. It was nasty out. It was awful. So we needed but we had everybody gather, and I was like, I got everybody here. You know how it is to work with, to get things together. And I'm just
to coordinate all that.
And I had we had choreography. We had all these things involved, and I was like, and I had been sick even like the week before. It was crazy. And, but by the day I was just like, I went into it like at first I was really nervous, like, oh man, like is this the day? Is this when I should do it? But we stuck to it, and somebody said let's go to the skate park, and we're like, let's fucking go, because it was covered. We would be at least not wet, but it actually made for cool effects. I don't know if you saw the waterfall in it. Like the water spouting down, like it made really cool effects.
That is cool, when things just line up to work out. It's
always divine. Yeah, it's like, and I feel like Shakina is like spirit itself, really the whole song. So I felt like it was just totally led by spirit anyway. And as everything in life, they fall the way they're supposed to. The right people, or everything's there in place, and it's just.
Yeah, you're like break dancers in that video and stuff, basically. And Matt did that record, right? Matt,
everything actually. We recorded there. He produced it. He put the frequencies on it.
Nice.
Yeah,
which is a cool thing we can go ahead and talk about. It's like the whole thing about the these frequencies that you're referring to putting into the tracks. As I found out basically yesterday that. Yeah, so Matt Tootin basically has this, like these, all right, start over. Imagine that you have your regular track as you produced it, and then there's 2 additional tracks that you integrate like in the final step.
Yes.
One of them is basically what he called, or y'all call, the brain candy, and then the other one is the detrainment track, and they're like weird kind of like, it's interesting. Like the brain candy one has like a lot of like these like, like kind of weird sounds, but it's cool. And then the other one is just like softer kind of tones and such.
And all that is just straight frequency. So, and I think that the little like boop boop that we were hearing it's isochronic tone.
That's what that.
So we use it. Yeah, it's used in meditation a lot. It's just audio. It's just dealing with audio sound manipulation. So we can, you can find things on the YouTube or whatever that, and train them. You can meditate with, basically. It slows the brain waves down or trains them to either go into like an alpha state, beta state, whatever you're going for, delta. But this actually, the ones he makes it's a combination of like gamma and theta. And so super like, those are like those golden points you want to be at in meditation. But But basically, the whole gist of why we put those on there is to really just open the listener's energetic field.
Wow.
Right. So,
yeah, it's super heady.
Yeah. It's basically, I mean, in essence, from a really spiritual standpoint, from, well, a very literal standpoint, it's just to like amplify your life force. So it's like building you up in a really positive way, or counterbalancing maybe some of those tones we hear all the time, you know?
Yeah. Counterbalancing.
That's a lot how I see it, especially with like this, because like we have like the 808s and all that glitch. This next song, Glitch, we'll talk about that a bit. But yeah, it's like it kind of counterbalances, I think, a lot of the other things we're hearing, you know, and what it does to our systems. It's just kind of neutralizing in a sense.
That is cool. That is cool. So what do you see for the GiRL project, like, by the end of the year?
Ooh, by the end of the year. Time is such a funny thing, but
I know, isn't it?
But here we are. I mean, if you would have asked me if I had like I would have never even guessed that I had like a video and a song. I'm out on Spotify now. Like, if you'd asked me just a few months ago, like, but it's happened really fast. By the end of the year, I hope to have at least like a solid EP, or maybe more if we're lucky. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things I see for the future for that, but also to be able to just have some really solid shows, you know, in line. Like we were talking about, I kind of want to incorporate some of the instruments. So it's just, I think it's all unfolding, but I just want to be able to go out and perform other places and be taking this. I mean, literally, I want to go global. I'm not kidding. Like, that's really my ultimate. Like, I want to be in Europe doing stuff. I want to be doing stuff everywhere.
I can see you doing that.
Everywhere. You name it. Asia. I want to go. I already see it. This is my manifestation, right? I do these meditations and just get in the field, and that's what I've been seeing. So
it's where you got to reverse engineer it from. You know, it's this thing in your head, and then, you know, every day it's like a process to realize that.
Yes.
Keep
it in the field.
Yeah.
Keeping it alive.
I respect that. So then how long, okay, you said you've been doing this whole Awaken Sponda thing with these meditation bowls for about 5 years?
Yeah, it's been close. Maybe I was thinking about that yesterday. I think it's close to 6 now. Because I lose track of time. But yeah.
They can see it, get a visual on it.
Yep, and there's one over here too, if you can see that. But so it's been like with the sound about 5 years, but it's been full speed ahead. Like, I quit my job, and it's like I've built a whole. This is how I sustain myself.
Yeah, you've been doing this full time,
and I teach people too, which is cool now too. Like, I started a curriculum like 2 years ago. And
wow.
So I teach people how to bring bowls into their practice, whatever practice they have.
Yeah.
Like because I mean, I've had hypnotherapists, I've had like lots of massage body workers, that sort of thing. Lots of, you know, of course, yoga teachers, people in energy work, people all across the field, doctors, nurses. Yeah, literally. So, and just learning how to incorporate it either for themselves, either people just want to learn for themselves, or they want to, you know, somehow bring it into what they're doing to their clients or people.
Interesting. So how did creating that into a successful business start? Like, what do you, like, you just like, first you had to learn it yourself, right? And then get people interested, and then work your way up. But like,
so like, well, when I got the download and all this happened, I had this
the download, that's a cool song name.
I know, maybe that'll be the next song. Well, we got King next, and then maybe download.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But yeah, so when all that downloaded and I got all. What did you just say? Where'd we go? I just glitched.
So it's like, like how it's like you had to learn it yourself, but then creating that into a business.
So this is the thing, is like I had this radical energetic movement, and a lot of people know it as a Kundalini awakening. And that's a whole, I'm get too crazy on that one right now, but that is really what cracked the seal to all this. And so it was like everything in my life for lack of, it just basically kind of made sense. Do you know what I mean? It was just like I all of a sudden knew what I needed to do and how I was going to do it. And I know that sounds crazy.
No, it makes sense.
That was the first time that ever really happened in my life, ever. But so everything just happened fast, and that's all. Like I live my life every day, literally like studying things, like in this regard, like studying. Like I didn't like I literally have like I don't like dating and all that, and like seeing, you know what I mean? Like I wasn't wasting any bit of my creative life force on any of that. So it was like everything was going straight into Awaken Sponda. Well, see, this is how this is why they say like trainers, like, right, and like martial arts, things like that. Like even these like these fighters and stuff, a lot of their training is like you don't have sex at certain points, or you don't like, you know, you're spilling your life for it's all there's so much, there's such a deeper meaning to that.
No, that makes sense. You know? Yeah,
yeah, and there's, I mean, it's a real thing, but like that having all my energy going into that just really, I think, is what just sparked things really quickly. And of course, beyond other things, just I was doing really disciplined, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But not like, it wasn't hard or anything. It just like I quit drinking. I quit like all those things that were just draining my energy in other directions. So
good for you.
Needless to say, I think that's what made it happen so quickly. And I just had the belief and the gusto to like just get out there. And people were like, I was like, I know half people before 2020 didn't even know in Charleston, they're like sound meditation. Like I just look like a crazy girl bringing a gong in somewhere and talking. You know what I mean? It's just very confusing to people, you know? Like,
well, what do you do? Like, do you already know? Well, all right. So then rewind back to the beginning of the inception of all Awaken Sponda.
Yeah.
Is it like, do you already know people at that point in your life that are like the segue to make the business happen, where it's like, oh, well, I already, was in with all these yoga studios and I already knew all these people, so therefore I had an easy way in? Or
I didn't know any, but I didn't come from any, there was no special, like, I mean, I was literally going to like anywhere that would open the door to me. And funny, it was harder because even the yoga studios, I would go in there and some of the most unaware people will be in a yoga studio. I mean,
like,
you know what I mean?
Employees?
Even as far as, I mean, no, I'm talking about like just understanding what I'm doing and the relevance. Yeah. And like, I had to literally, like, and this is the way I knew I had to go about it, was like, I had to actually educate people at the same time. I couldn't just walk in somewhere and say, this is what I do. Because then people are just like, oh, okay, whatever. Like, they don't really have value on it.
Exactly.
Because they don't understand it yet.
You have to ascribe the value.
So that's what I've been doing for 5 years. I was already just educating everybody that walked through the door. Do you know what I mean? And like how we're doing and how we're doing this, why we're doing this, making it more tangible, right? Because otherwise it's just some like woo-woo.
Yeah, woo-woo.
It's just a woo-woo like spiritual thing that like people are like, it's unimportant or whatever. But but so it was a lot of educating. So making a curriculum, 2 years ago was easy for me to just, I was like, let's go.
Yeah, because you were already 3 years in at that point.
Yeah.
Roughly.
And just in all my life experience on top of it and having the energetic movements myself, it's kind of like, that's why I always say, like, I don't want to learn from somebody. When you rather learn from somebody who actually had experience with something, or you want to learn from somebody who just maybe read some books about something.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like hands-on versus book smart.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that's been really any of my success, if that's the word, or where I've gotten, it's because it really has been, I embody what I do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. How about, let's go ahead, demo this sound out and talk with it. Just so we can...
Well, I guess I can do it. This is going to be interesting here.
Yeah, however...
Maybe I'll put... I guess... Ooh. See if I can get... It's an awkward setup. Let me put one down here.
Yeah, whatever's clever.
Yeah. Do you have any live watchers?
Not at this point currently, but we've had a bunch of people join in actually.
Gotcha.
So what are the actual applications like when let me see, what's the question? Basically, like, what is like your most common application for this in a setting? Like, hey, we're in a yoga studio and they're doing yoga while I'm in the corner or whatever doing that. Like,
yeah. So, well, you can do that. You mean like how do I go about my practice?
like what's the most common application of it? Like in a yoga studio or like at a with Reiki healers or like, you know what I mean?
I
like,
mean, you're more or less going to find most common, I think Charleston's, we're just getting there. A lot of the time you will find it in yoga studios. I don't know, I guess like really with sound, it's yoga. Like this is, everything in life is yoga, first of all, because all it is union of, our energy. And I feel like what I do is probably the most ancient practice of yoga because it's all energy. It really starts the energy. It's not about like yoga how we think it nowadays is like you go in a studio and it's like ladies stretching and everybody just stretching out and building booties and all that, like. But
well, I mean, yeah, I haven't really been to do yoga.
Yeah.
So it's like I kind of have a disconnect from
trying to understand
specifically visualize and get across to our listeners
I see what you're saying.
How you integrate.
Yeah. So nowadays,
what was your last gig?
Okay, well, just like so, I do ceremonies on the lunar cycles. So I always do like a public practice on the full moon and the new moon.
So what does that look like? Are you like outside with the moonlight?
No, I usually will be in a building, and that is for the reasons of with my sound practice in particular. I prefer to be inside as opposed to outside because we're in contained walls. Right. I see my practice as a very feminine practice, and this is a very cool thing energetically. I like to state, but the masculine energy, like we all possess both, right? It's not like just you or me.
Yeah.
But it's like a container to the feminine energy. Like if you didn't have the masculine to contain the feminine would just be like leaking. She's just like flowing, like because that's our creative or our left right brain. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's kind
of like if we just lived in our right brain, we would just be in like la land. We wouldn't even but the left brain is our container. It's like our conscious mind that helps us do things and make things like tangible. It's like functional.
Male and female, like yin and yang.
Right. So I like to be inside, and I have people ask me to do outside things all the time, but it's nice and it's relaxing and it's nice. But if you really want an effective practice, 4 walls is very important.
Right.
So
what kind of building?
So yoga studios are always the option, but I really do prefer to not. I want to see sound break out of that, fully, because it is a separate practice in and of itself. Because it's just different. Like anyway.
No, I get
it. But yeah, so it's just you kind of want to like expand it, right? Like I just don't want everybody associating yoga, and it doesn't have to just be like that.
Yeah,
it's not. Actually, it's the biggest melting pot of people I'll generally see. That show up. Not everybody's a yoga person that shows up. More than likely,
right? No, yeah. It's not just that. Like so then. All right, so, let's go the opposite. What's been the most off the wall place that you've done this work at? Like that is like unexpected.
God, let me think around the top of my head. I have done this work in so many inconspicuous places because, like I said, when I first started, anybody that opened their door to me, I was like, just give me a space, and the
chance.
Just provide the space and I got it, but I like one of the places that really supported me in Charleston when I first started was a dermatology center. They have a beautiful like reception area. And they're just beautiful people. The people that own it, they're from California, and they understood what I was doing. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like
So
they were from California. They're more progressive a little bit.
They just understood meditation, and they wanted to invite that in and wanted to support me, and so because we know, like, I wasn't making lots of money. It's not like I'm making lots of money even out there right now. You know what I mean? But you got to hold the value to it though.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, that place provided me space for like the first few years, and then I outgrew it, and then after 2020, I feel like even more people started to become a little more aware because more people were online doing study, trying to figure out. You remember? I mean, 2020 was.
Yeah.
Everybody was trying to figure out what was actually going on in the world and investigating health and healing and all these things. So
how did that affect your practice?
Oh, to be honest, mine flourished. But it was like me. When 2020 happened, I literally was like, "Oh, cool! Everybody can get on my page now." Because I literally didn't go. I didn't have a 9 to 5. Like, I was just at home. Like, my home was always my home. That was where I worked anyway.
Yeah.
And
which is cool.
I don't know. So and I just thought, like, cool. It gives people more of a chance to go in and figure out, like, what's actually going on. That's the work I do anyways, to help you become a little more sovereign, think for yourself a little more.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So my whole practice in general is really to empower everybody to their own self-healing and to their own, like, sovereignty is how I like to put it. So
I like that.
Yeah. So you're not, like, waiting for, somebody else to tell you what to do or seeking all your answers out here, because this is where we fuck up when we start going out here and thinking the answers to our problems are in a relationship or in a drink or a whatever you name it.
Yeah, speaking of drink, there's coconut water. Now, when you go out and you're doing, what do you call it? It's not like a gig. You don't consider it like a gig, do you? What do you consider, like, when you set up and you do your damn thing? I just like event. I usually call it an event. Okay, so when you do these events, like, what tools are you bringing to the table? Like, is it just these two bowls, or do you have, like, chimes? Like, do you bring the gong? Like, I have a lot of stuff. But yeah, like a lot of gongs, bowls, chimes, all percussionary type instruments. How many objects individually, like, do you think when you go to your average event? Like, every time, are you bringing like the same stuff, or do you procure different tools? It varies on what I'm doing, where I'm going. All the elements involved kind of determine what I'm gonna bring. And then some of the stuff I do, like, I do stuff now, like my directions towards, like, creativity, and so it's using the meditations, but also having creative practices, like or movement practice, like ecstatic dance or like dance in general. So I get to make fun playlists, which is what I was talking to you about with the drum and bass and dirty bass and all that. Dirty bass. That's where I get my inner DJ. Just it's like it's so freeing to create these journeys, these playlist journeys. Right. So that breath work and what was I saying? Like drawing, creative. Right. Sometimes we'll do collective poems or things like that. So it just helps people kind of get into. There's a lot of people out there that come to these. They're not as, like, you're a creative person, so you kind of probably delve into creative, but you don't try. Like, a lot of people aren't trying new things, or they don't know how to even go, or that a lot of people, like the poetry one in general. Like, I remember a lot of the women in there were like, they weren't just writers. Like, this was all new to them, so. They were very like, oh God, I don't know what I'm going to do here. And I'm like, just write like 2 lines, right? So, but by the time I read the poem and read all what they had written, I'm like, they were like naturals. They just needed to do it to know, Yeah. So I basically, I mean, I just help people extract what the expression, in life, because that helps us heal. That's all healing. I see you really flourishing in the music festival scene, as we mentioned briefly earlier. Have you actually set up at a music festival before? Yes, I have. I've set up sound equipment and stuff at music festivals,
And that was interesting.
Like little workshops, basically, kind of type of thing.
Kind of, yeah. It was like something. The one I did here in particular was like an art installment that I was part of, and I was like the sound to the art installment, and so people would just drop in, and like I would just do mini sound sessions and whatnot, and it was really cool.
What was that festival?
I don't remember. It was something out at the Up 61, you know, where they do they have camping and all that.
Like at the Woodlands?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that. And I have done like different like events out of town that were like festival. It was more like, I don't know if festival is a word, but it's like yeah, I guess festival would be the word. So they have speakers come in and they have all kinds of different dynamics. But mostly like things in regards to energetics and whatnot. But my hope ultimately now, you know, bringing music into my life is like I want to be at the music festivals. That's where I belong.
Yeah, That's one? Where I belong. What's like your dream opportunity at this point? Like, hey, yeah, like I want to be at like this specific, like me to have my own like tent at Bonnaroo and like be a part of like this schedule or like something. Like, what's your dream? Thing, wow. Like obtainable thingy right now?
Yeah, I mean, I want to be on like a tour, like with festivals, really anything, anywhere. But like, I see, like me and a couple of my friends that are aware of this it's this little thing I've dreamed up, and I call it Sound Tribe. But it would be like literally a stage full of like where we'd have all the sound equipment, but also like DJ, and like it would be a whole fucking journey. Through like sound, vibration, and music.
Right.
So you could have like rappers, you know, or like say a singer or rapper, like different. This is like my ultimate dream.
So like imagine like a decent stage, and then, you know, that's where you got all this stuff set up, room for other performers as well. But then like say maybe like people all like kind of maybe like sitting Indian style and just like you kind of guide them through like a guided meditation kind of type of thing, and like people talk, and then some people perform, something like that maybe. Yeah,
it would be a compilation of like a very conscious experience. Because if you go to a show, it's a very conscious experience because your eyes are open and you're here. But like, so it would be more of a conscious experience, like that you're witnessing. However, there will be points that I would take you in to like close your eyes. It's just very simple. Maybe have breath, a little simple. It's the simple things that can make something an immersive experience.
Right.
And so I've been dreaming of cooking that one up somewhere, and it's just.
Have you had these mic'd up before?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you get it really piping.
Yeah, with the gongs, it's crazy.
Oh yeah. Oh, like I love them. Like I definitely have like my times when producing that. I mean, the Chinese gong is like definitely up there on like some of my favorite samples to use. Like at the very beginning of a track, just I just love that, obsessed. But I could see you like in like imagine like Alex Gray's art studio or something like that. Have you done an art gallery before?
Yeah, so I started this last year. I attempted with an artist friend of mine who's actually like a very well-known portrait artist. We created this thing called Alchemy of Arts. And so basically it's like it's like a 5-hour immersion that I put together. And he just basically kind of took them as an artist, like, because people like to hear from an artist to do it. But it's very simple, like intuitive stuff, but using artist techniques of like how to like intuitively like draw some things. But it started out very cognitive, and then it went into like, by the end, I was playing all the instruments while they were like awake state, intuitively like drawing, and that was incredible. Okay, like they had the shit that it was really cool by the end of it, what had come out and what they were seeing. And the thing is it taps us into like that subconscious mind, or takes us to like different places where we can become aware of things going on that we weren't. Like in a normal life, it just gives us an opportunity to dive in deep. And so that's why I call it alchemy, because it helps alchemize our soul, you know?
That's cool. No, I love that word. It's actually my band, we're finishing up recording our next album beginning of next month, and it's gonna be called Alchemy.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's like a powerful,
that's it.
Interesting word.
That's I like. If I call myself anything, I feel like I'm a sound alchemist.
Hey,
that's it.
Yeah, that's sick. I'm with it.
But I actually there's a gallery downtown that I'm going to start doing a meditation at starting in February, where we'll do a meditation, and at the ends they'll be provided like colored pencils and paper, and then it's going to be intuitive drawing after that.
I love that. I love drawing. And so I feel I can resonate with that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And this is a good time to have you on the podcast. This is like pretty much the purpose of the podcast. Like, it's pretty self-explanatory in the name, the pursuit of sound. And you're in such this like genesis of your, you've already started, like, you've been doing this for like 5 some odd years now, but it's like a kind of neogenesis to like bring in your your music career kind of alongside with it. Mm-hmm. And that's cool because I'm eager to see like how that transpires for you.
Yeah, me too. I'm so I'm excited about it.
We were talking about like incorporating these sounds of the tools that you have into the tracks of your songs themselves. Mm-hmm. Even like everything from being part of the composition in one way or another, or even like it's interludes.
Yes.
All the above.
Yeah, all of it. Yeah, it's happening. It's just I'm a big I listen. Every day I'm in the moment, and that's just kind of how I do this thing. And it's like, so where I'm led is just where I'm led. See what right now it's like Jerry Feels Good is part of, and you.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Shout out Jerry. He's the reason why I'm even here right now. Mm-hmm. I'm going to have him on the podcast very soon. And to reground things, what are some of your big musical inspirations, and like who are you like really listening to a lot right now, even things like that?
Like right now, I just go, like I said, I'm very kind of all over, and I'm very eclectic as far as music. So when people ask me my favorite anything, I'm like, don't do that.
Yeah.
There's just no, now.
What did you listen to today? Did you listen to any music today?
Let's see, today, I did. I've been on this, because I've been for the past couple of days, I've been in events and stuff. So I've been listening to it's really just stuff on my, it's my playlist. I don't even know, unfortunately, I don't even know the names of some of the artists on there right now, but like, I don't know, like Equanimous was one that I just used recently. But there's a new guy, this guy I found recently that's like Soul Face or something, or I don't even know. I'll just get on like my, like a way I kind of go about it is Spotify. I just get on there and I start digging around with something, and then I find gold like that. Just the most inconspicuous. It could be somebody with no followers. It could be somebody with lots of followers.
Right.
It's fun.
I know. I love SoundCloud for that. They've got a good sort of algorithm set up. Like, you can obviously like find one song that you really like and just go to a radio of that song, and it instantly devises like a whole heap of other songs that are related in one way or another.
Pick through it.
Yeah.
But I've been on my my breathwork playlist, and I've been into lo-fi a lot lately.
Oh yeah. I love me some like chill hop lo-fi.
Mm-hmm. That I do a lot with my meditations and stuff, because I'll bring music in for the first part of it, just to get people, like, we'll do tapping and like the sort of some bodily stuff. So that's where I always get to I'll play like whatever fun new stuff I've just found. It's usually when I'll play it.
Nice. I like that. What do you see like the thresholds of this GiRL project being? Like, as in, okay, the track that we've been working on.
Yes.
1 second. Just want to wake the computer up. 2 seconds. I still like it when the screen goes black. Anyways, what was he saying? Yeah, the thresholds of the songs, because to kind of like describe the song Glitch that we've been working on, it's like, you know, beat heavy. It does have like some like New Jersey club aspect to it towards like the bridge area of the song, but yeah, there's also like some meditative sounds. But like, what do you think is like where you would really draw the line? One, like for like what's the chillest, and like what would be like the most over the top that you would go?
The chillest, like, okay, I mean, it's like on this
like,
project?
do you always wanted to have like a solid like sort of beat and things like that? Like, I get the interludes are one thing, right? Where it's like, say the softest threshold would be like, hey, like just a pure soundscape for like an interlude, and then the heaviest being like drum and bass track.
Oh yeah,
like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's exactly probably right. Because yeah, it would go from one spectrum where it's just literally the sounds, like is what I do with the sound healing. That's how we do meditation. And then the opposite of that practice would be like the just super live, like, you know, like visceral, like we're eyes open, moving our bodies, you know. No, like drum and bass, like that EDM, we talked about that, all of that. Like that's, because that's what's I've been involved with my dance portion of what I do. I just, you know, I've never like, this is the first time I've really experimented, like actually putting my vocals on those sorts of things, you know. but yeah, like somewhere a balance between the hip hop, because I mean, like, just I'm a very like, I'm a hip hop head. I love, like, you know, the very simple like boom bap to like, you know, wild style drum and bass, and like glitch style. Basically glitch is, takes you, it's like 2.5 minutes of just like fire. It's just insanity.
Yeah. When do you plan on having that song like released by? We're pretty much done with it.
We're done with it now. So yeah, I'm thinking like in the next, I don't know, could be like week, 2 weeks. What do you think?
I don't know. It's just like, you know, I'd say like consider like a marketing campaign. It's, if you upload,
like, see, I'm so this one me my I don't know. It's just gonna be whatever feels good.
Yeah, if you just
I might
like
just put it out.
Because like there's often times where I'll just upload a song. Like a week is about like the soonest that you'll be able to like get it cleared with all streaming platforms.
Yes.
Yeah. So you know,
maybe like 2 weeks or something.
Maybe something like that.
It's gonna be in February though. It's happening.
In February,
I'm so excited. I'm so excited to drop this one. And then we got one we're working on now. More of a breakbeat. King.
Yeah. I remember Justin showed me, I listened to that instrumental once. I kind of forget how it sounds right now, but like the breaks.
Like I told him, I was like, we were going through beats, you know, he's like, what are we doing next? What do you want to do? And like, I had a couple beats that he had kind of he gave me to work with, and I was like, I think this, but then I was like, if you ask me what I'm feeling, I was like, I want like the roller rink, man. I want like roller skating vibes. And it went from roller skating vibes to literally, he's like, well, we're gonna have to build this, and he just started building it like right there. So it's like literally I've been with that beat since the ground up. So it's gonna be cool.
I see. Oh my god. What was I gonna say? Yeah, you kind of I don't know why I get like this rough vibe from like your style-ish. It's like, have you heard of Jack U? Like Skrillex and Diplo?
Yes. I don't know Jack.
So that's the name of their collab. Like they basically like came together for an album.
I think I probably heard something off of that album.
Yeah, there's just like there's just certain tracks off of that, because they work with a lot of female singers, and there's like I just get, like the kind of style that it seems to kind of already be going in kind of reminds me a little bit of that. And it's really good stuff to listen to if you haven't like already. Yeah, if you don't really know Jack U like that, then we'll definitely make sure that, because I mean, they're really popular. I mean, they're not really a thing anymore. Like I said, it was pretty much like an album's worth of stuff. But, I mean, you know that song where it's like, you got more love to give, baby. Oh, babe. Oh, babe. You got more love to give, baby. And then like, you know how you push me to the point of breaking. It's just like all these ones. You're like listening to me like do the worst representations, and you're like, "Yep." I'm just kidding.
I don't know that one, but
it sounds
I don't
so
know.
silly.
I did. No, it's not silly.
Yeah, no, because it was like so beyond my pitch range. It's like.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, it's really good stuff.
Yeah. I'm just really, it's so fascinating because it's like, I mean, really this project in general or what it's becoming, it is totally just unfolding. And that's what makes it exciting. Like, you know, is that I've just been following the like hits. It's like when I met Justin, like something just said this guy has beats. He has beats. And I hounded him. Like literally, like he would just, I mean, no text back. No.
Oh,
like,
come on, Justin.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah.
No, but
he's, but I kept like asking for these beats, and then like finally I see him at the Wonder because I kept like he would show up where I was, and I was like, okay, we both work at the Wonder, right? Or he does DJ.
Oh, you do stuff at the Wonder too?
I do sound. Yeah.
Oh damn. Yeah. That's what's up.
Yeah. So. I remember being at the pool one time. It was like I just ran into him again, and I was like, "Dude!" And I was like in this really down space where I was like, "I have got," because I have been wanting to get this music out and like get things rolling, but it's like all the music I kept getting from people were like the same boom bap type stuff, which is cool. I mean, you can't go wrong. I can't hate any of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it just something didn't feel quite. It's like it's just not it yet. You know what I mean? And so I really just wanted to hear what he had. And he's like, well, I haven't even heard you. Like, he probably thought I sucked or something. I don't even know.
Justin's ass out here, like, fucking vetting people.
So I sent him something, and then it was like the next day. He's like, all right. He's like, you can come over.
I guess.
So, yeah. And but it's cool. So, but then, you know, I heard it, and I was like, I just have to do some shit on his beats. Like, it just the closest I had come to, like, I don't know, for whatever reason, we work well together.
I love that.
As far as, you know, music, that's what's up. We got, you know.
I love that. And is there anything that you just want to say, like talk about, just for the sake of, like, you know, something that you just want to talk about?
There's all kinds of stuff we probably talk about. I don't know. I don't know.
Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah. Well, what's your next project?
My next project is what the fuck is my next project right now? Pretty much putting out the album with Gods. We have a 10-song album that we got all the drums done for. It's the Alchemy album, and I am the bassist and the guitarist at this point. It's just a 2-piece now. We used to be a 3-piece. So I'm literally going in on like February 5th to lay down the bass and the guitar for that. And then that's a big next project. We've got some upcoming shows as well that we'll be doing.
Sweet.
We've got one. Yeah, we've got one coming up on February 10th at this place called Stu's House. And then we're going to be hosting a monthly indie night at Rebel Taqueria.
Right. Yeah, I'll definitely come out to that. I love Rebel.
Yeah.
I like Rebel. They support hip hop too.
Yeah, they do. They have hip hop nights already. Yeah, which you should definitely get in on.
That's where I was on New Year's, actually. Yeah. Yeah, Indy's a good friend of mine. Actually, Indy just messaged me today. This is something cool to talk about. He just, do you know Indigo?
Yeah, I've had him on this podcast.
Oh, perfect. Well, he's been like literally. He was the one that like gave me my first show. He was the first person I really like came out to. I was like, all right, like,
oh damn,
put me on something.
What was your first show?
It was just like it was at like the Ritz Bar and Grill in North Charleston. Like I told
the Ritz,
I had told him though, I was like, look, I just want something like, I don't want to know anybody. I just want, because I hadn't performed.
Yeah, you gotta start somewhere.
Right.
You gotta start somewhere.
Right. And
oh my God.
But anyway, I do have a show coming up at Royal in March.
Oh shit.
March 23rd. But Indy hit me up about this thing today, and he's like, they're putting together a female MC, a female rap tribute, like with bands at Music Farm. And he asked me to come be part of that. So I'm like, so stoked. I don't know what's about to happen.
Music Farm is legitness.
Yeah.
So then when you go up
like
for... When you performed at even say the Ritz, like what's your... Like, because you're... It seems like you're still like at a very... what do you call it? Nascent kind of time, like in where it's like, how much materials like do you have? For that?
So I have old songs. So what I did for like that was like, just to get flowing again, was I took old songs and I put like, I didn't even have the beats to them anymore or anything. So like what I did was I took industry beats, like I took a Lauryn Hill, like Fuji beat, and then I just recreated the song.
Oh wow,
I did that. I did 3 songs that I like. One I did is like kind of like a rock sound actually, but like, well, that's been the problem is my music, because I haven't had the music. I got the lyrics, I have the songs, but I just didn't have the music. But everything I do with Justin or Jerry Feels Good is gonna be, this is totally fresh in the now new stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how I want it to be from this point forward.
Okay.
But I started with the old stuff, and now it's like, I'm just building slowly like the new stuff, and I don't know. Yeah, I did a Tin Roof show that is crazy. It ended up shutting down like in the midst of my set.
What, the Tin Roof in West Ashley?
Yeah.
Why? What?
It was just something. It's some energetic crazy shit. But
what do you mean? What up, Grim? It was just. What do you mean? It's just somebody's head explodes, and you're like, whoops.
It was just. I mean, how many times you end up at a show and it's like, I mean, the vibes were fucking there too. It was such a good show and such a good turnout. A lot of love, and in the middle, like when I was on stage, the door guy got robbed.
What?
And they told us to all get out. They
what do you mean he got robbed?
Got robbed. I guess because everybody was paying attention over here to what was going on stage, and then nobody was paying attention to the door guy. I guess the guy called him outside and then like clocked him, took the money.
What?
Yeah.
In the middle of a... Yeah. Oh my God.
Right before I got to Shakina, right before my new song. It was like right in the middle of like,
who robs the door guy in the middle of business hours? Like what?
I don't know, man.
That is bonkers.
Those are the things in life you just have to go, like what? These are the things I see. I mean, I can't make this shit up. I see a lot of the time, but.
Oh, that's my boy Grim said that's how you know it's a crazy party.
Right. Well, we all got kicked out, and that was that. That was the middle of my performance. Very middle of it.
Jesus.
So, like I said, didn't get to perform Shakina. So Shakina got dropped all with a video. It was all dropped at one time.
Yeah.
I didn't share it all, which I think was kind of really sacred and significant that I didn't share it before time. So the guy stopped. It was actually a gift to me in a big way.
Huh. Well, can I try these bowls really quick? Like, is there anything super special to the technique?
Yeah, so we just want to, so what I always tell people is like kind of take it like a pencil, like you're a kid and you're learning like that. It's just a nice, safe way to, and it's all, you're just going to kind of place the silicone against the edge of the bowl.
Yeah.
And just continue, keep it pressed down though, consistent.
But you kind of you just pivot your wrist.
Mm-hmm. It's all, just like that. Yep. Perfect.
That's pretty loud, actually.
It gets loud quick, so then that's when your pace is important to know when to slow it down.
Yeah.
Because a lot you'll go to a lot of sound baths. People are like, it's like because the practitioner's just swinging around the bowl, and it's like, like it's insanity.
What's like the ideal loudness?
Well, it just depends. I mean, I take it up, but I let it drop. It's all about the pulse. Like you got to keep it in like a breathing rhythm. So that's what I teach anyway.
A little louder, a little softer.
Breathing rhythm. So you build it, and you can let it drop. And you got to find a nice it's like a frequency. It's up and down, right? So it's the same concept. But we're dealing with like in the physical. So we don't want to, if we're just cranking it, it's like you feel like your fucking brain's going to explode. And it's like, I've been in sound baths like that, or I've had like, it's like, whoa.
Yeah, like pipe it back
did you even take a breath? Like, it's your meditation as much as it's whoever's meditation you're playing for, you know? So it's really, a lot of the training is in slowing down yourself, you know, and learning how to slow down.
That's neat. And does this thing have to be like sitting at like obviously it comes with the ring, like as in the bottom, if the bottom were to be say touching this couch in like a wrong way, does that mess with like the resonance of it and stuff like that?
Yeah, like we just don't want the you wouldn't want it to be touching the couch or anything else because it'll stop it won't resonate.
Like kind of touching, just because, but we're still able to get something. Have you recorded with these before?
I have, I've recorded. I've done a few tracks with people where I added like gongs or bowls or things for them for whatever they got going on. And then stuff I've done for YouTube. I've recorded meditations and things. I have a Bandcamp too. I did some stuff on.
So if people were to want to see some of your stuff on YouTube, go ahead and plug that in.
Yeah, YouTube, and then the Bandcamp. It's Awaken Sponda on Bandcamp has actual like meditation tracks, like 20-minute meditation tracks.
To spell it out for them, it's like on any of these platforms. Okay, AWAKEN and then SPANDA. Mm-hmm. And then so what's a good thing to type in on YouTube as well outside of that? Like, is there a specific title of a video that you would want somebody to see?
I'm wondering what's on, what I have live on there. I don't know if YouTube, I don't know what's on there. I haven't really been in my YouTube in a minute. But if you put in, I'm sure if you just scroll in there, you'll find something. Like there's some meditation I put in there. Because I think there's live instrumentation ones.
So you just type in like
but the Bandcamp is going to be really good to get. It's just like a good audio.
How many tracks do you have up on the Bandcamp?
I think I have like 4 or 5.
Nice.
Just mini ones, like 20-minute ones. I give them away a lot of the time to people these days.
But they're definitely for sale there as well.
Yeah, they're like $5 or something like that.
Nice. You know? I mean, but that's what's up, hey.
Yeah.
Plug it in so these people know.
Yeah. Yeah. And hopefully more of that will come. Like, I would love to do an album that's like, now it's like, I want to do all the albums, right? Like, I want like an album that's for my breath work. I want an album that's like, you know, just meditation, you know? And then obviously I just want my music, like rap.
Yeah, it seems like you could put out some material in a more efficient manner with some of that other stuff than like having to go through the whole like production process and recording, mixing, mastering, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Like you could probably knock it out. Like
everything I've done, like otherwise, I mean, it's not probably the best recordings, but it's stuff that I just did myself and like got a good recorder and it's doable because it works. It's efficient. You'd be able to use it. And, but I would like to of course, I'd love to adventure and just make all kinds of albums. I think that's been my dream for a long time. It's just finding the right people. This year is all about help for me. Like, because I've been doing everything with Awaken Sponda on my own for so long. And it's like, there's no way I'll branch out. Like, just like needing the team of y'all to do what we glitch. You know, it's just like in life, period. Like, I need my tribe, my people that are going to help build these things. We can build each other's dreams together. You know what I mean? Like, I
do. Oh, you know what I just thought of? Not to be too ADD with it. I was just sitting here like, you know, doing this, and then it's a bowl. Like you could hold water. Have you ever tried this with water?
Yeah. And in my trainings, I put we actually do this with metal bowls. We'll put water in the bowls, and you could see the actual
cymatics.
You can see the cymatics. Yeah, we teach cymatics and all that.
No way.
But yeah, you'll see like the ripples and the different effects as you go faster, slower. If you tap it, how it ripples, which is a great representation physically of like how we affect each other. Everything from what we think to like everything is a ripple effect, you know. So what we're sending out, it's reaching beyond, but it travels through water.
I've been seeing some cool water stuff lately. Like this dude even like filled his acoustic guitar with water. It was like a kind of like, hey, a one and done kind of type of thing, because you can't really do that to guitars. But and also piano, where like water was all up on that, just different, you know. Just you could find this stuff on YouTube. Cymbal dipping. I don't know if you've seen or heard of that, where you'll hit a cymbal and you'll
there's
like halfway submerged.
There's
and stuff
a guy
like that.
I follow on Instagram who's insane. He does like, he literally sits with like a bowl of water, and he has like all kinds of like, from like chimes to like cymbals to you name it. This man is playing like water and sounds.
Yeah.
I have to put you on him. I don't know his name, but he makes crazy beats. It's all beats and stuff too.
Oh, beats too?
He does beats, but he uses all that percussive stuff, and he dips it in water.
What?
It's like,
yeah.
Oh yeah. It's awesome. It's really great. Very what's the word? Eclectic? Not eclectic. I don't know. I feel like all that kind of stuff, it's like, you know, it's from the future.
Yeah, I know. I like it. It's people realizing the future in the present.
Yeah.
Can we bring the bigger one over here really quick? Is that sticker like basically like the dead center, and you kind of want to aim for that to be like?
It's pretty much. Yeah. Either way. As long as it looks like it's straight up.
Yeah, I'd be really curious to see what the cymatics would look like. You could even we got a couple people up in here. Hey. Thank y'all for being in here as we're playing with this talking music.
Get your healing on.
Yeah, I think it's really special to be able to.
Is that maybe that's what it was? Come on in, y'all. The vibe's bringing it in.
Getting like the water in here and then getting it really vibrating, having a video camera basically record that, boom, use that video on a music video of yours, like where it's kind of like you put it on like an overlay or screen kind of opacity thing, and it kind of like blends
maybe for
in
glitch
subtly.
We'll use it. We gotta do something here.
Yeah. Yeah, I love cymatics. That stuff is so cool to watch. Like, I remember at a music festival, there was this dude that basically, perfect harmony. He basically had a speaker that was like sitting facing upwards, and it was waterproofed, and he basically just had music playing through it, and you would be able to see the cymatics of it. And it's just one of those things that not the average person really knows about that, like the physicality of sound vibrations, like what the certain sounds and frequencies look like. It's really neat.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah. That's what's all about right there.
Yeah.
Because everything that's the whole basis of life is vibration. Everything's it's moving first. All energy moves. It's all about that energy, really.
Yeah, I agree.
That's what it comes down to. That's the thing. I think for me, I think a lot in energetic terms in life these days. You know what I mean? Like I'm always thinking where something is at an energetic space before I'm thinking about where it's at a physical. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Like
it's like if I see something happening, then I'm thinking, well, what's the energetics behind that?
Yeah.
Like you know what I'm saying?
The both sides of these things. Yeah. That's cool. So are these do you have more than these two? Or...
Oh gosh, yeah. I got I'm in the car right now because I had an event last night, so I have like I think there's like 4 more in the car right now, and then I got a bunch at home. But I train, so I train people, so I always have like a full set.
How big do these get?
You can get really big ones. The biggest one I have is 16. Let me check that.
Yeah, if you just like wiggle the. Thank ya. Perfect.
I do that on my things too.
Yeah.
So what was I saying?
The big sizes of it.
Yeah. So 16 inches. Like this one is probably. I think this is a 10 inch. No. This
might be like 12.
This is 12. 12 because the other one's 14. 13, 14. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is 12.
Looks about the size of a snare drum.
And my biggest one is. Not 16. I think it's 18. 18. It's a big, heavy bowl.
Yeah, like you got to be careful with these.
Deep, but it's heavy.
This reminds me also of the it's like an instrument where it's like made out of like basically imagine like glass bowls these are quartz, you were saying? Okay.
Quartz silica.
Yeah, it's like it's like a piano kind of, but it's like all the bowls and they're like basically, how do I describe this? It's like kind of like you play it like a piano and it's like almost like wine glasses that are constantly rotating like on a mechanism that keeps them rotating, and you have to like keep your fingers just wet enough.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Literally.
Does it go around the rims or something?
Yeah, it's like it's on a motorized, it's like motorized to be moving automatically underneath your fingers, and then you just move your fingers. It's kind of like a piano, but it's like this is
it the thing with like I've seen it because this is in the sound world. I come across all these random things that people build online all the time, but there's like this, it's like a metal piping, and then it's got these tubes that are coming out of it like that, and you have to have like wet fingers for that. It's like you take them and I can't remember exactly, but I think you're just like I think you're just barely like touching and pulling like that, and it's these wild like it's like I don't even know how to explain the sound. That's the thing with sound is sometimes we don't have the cognitive words to explain the sounds.
Yeah. How would you describe this?
I mean, I don't even know. Like, what is it? It's just like it's just free. I think frequency. I don't know.
I describe it as like soft and round.
The sound?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like it's not. Yeah, it's like very round in the sense of like it isn't like, I'd say an angled sound would be just more like, something like that's bitey, and that's like...
It is. It's very... It is soft like that.
Yeah.
The bowls I found are the easiest to really even put in tracks and stuff like that too, because they're very consistent. Like they're just very that's not the word I'm looking for, something like that, but
consistent.
It's constant. It's just a constant, so it's very like you can just layer it really with anything, and it's not harsh or abrasive. It can be now if people rev it up and like we were talking about earlier, crank it to where it's like
I'm trying to keep a consistent thing for the rest of this podcast, or however long makes sense, just so that it's like this exactly what we're doing right now, but like it to be the drone behind the beat that this would be in the key of. Like you would record this at first, and then like do like a good 4 minutes, and then so these are in the key of D, right?
This is D, F.
Okay, right. So then something in the key of these, you make the beat, and then it just the same difference with the Brain Candy track and the detrainment tracks that we put in over your song Glitch, but like it just to be, the basis of the music, and it just to be there kind of subtly in the same regard.
Yeah.
Why not? It makes perfect sense to do that.
That's the thing, and it's like I said, because if you'll notice, if you're talking, like I was saying, if I was just talking to you and then I just started playing this, like you can't help but like everything kind of slows down a little bit, like becomes a little more calm. I've played right, honestly. Like if somebody's just
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you're not gonna be like, but if you play it at that salt, like just like you're doing right now, it just kind of slows you down a little bit.
Yeah, it's sweet.
Which is what everybody in life needs, a little bit of slowdown.
Yeah, of
these
course.
days. I mean, that's we're just so wound up. Like our energy body is not even meant to be so bombarded the way it is.
No, yeah, you're right.
So it's very important to keep sacred tones like this, or
sacred tone. I like that.
Yeah.
I remember after spending like 2.5 weeks in Costa Rica the last time I was out there, and getting very much in that pace of life, and then coming back here, I just remember like everything was just stimulation overload. Like everybody's playing something off their cell phones simultaneously. There's like the TV's on while the cell phone's going, while like you're talking, and it's just like, like why is America so just stimulation overload?
That's a big part. Yeah, like the South for me is like there's nothing like. I cried last time I came home from Tulum because I was like, I'm not ready to be back here right now.
Oh crap! I'm getting a phone call. I put it on Do Not Disturb.
Yeah, it is. You realize, and when I came back from Costa Rica the first time, like that. Same thing. I just
I hate it when this happens.
It'll
I
go
need
away.
to figure. I know. I just need to figure out how to freaking make sure, because I put it on Do Not Disturb, so it's like I don't get why it's disturbing.
No, there's a reason.
Yeah, I'll have to figure that out.
No, I mean just energetically. Remember?
Oh yeah, everybody's tuning in now.
Look.
Yeah.
No, but we're talking about really important stuff too. Like that's and see that. Yeah, that's where I feel like my job, with what I do, even like it's like I just help remind people of the sacred side of themselves. You know what I mean? Where you can slow down, you can allow yourself to slow down. That's okay. Like nothing has to be rushed all the fucking time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, seriously.
Like my life, like even if you came to my house, like my house is very much like it's representative almost of like Tulum or Costa Rica or somewhere where it's just like it's that kind of space. It's just it's open. It's got the instruments. There's plants, and it's just it's not chaotic like everything.
Yeah, no, I get that. Growing older,
has to be for me. If I'm gonna be here, it has to be. But it is on my. I've thought for the longest. I mean, I could end up in Costa Rica like anytime, or you know what I mean. Like I know I would do well in any of these places. And I feel more in my element more than anything in those spaces. But
why in the world is that thing still geeking? Well. Yeah.
Is that a sign?
I guess, but
now stop.
We've been this has been like about a minute and 15 minutes, so I feel like we got to scratch the surface in a good way.
Yeah.
Pun intended with this. So anything that you'd like to say in conclusion?
Yeah, I mean, if you're around this area, or even if you're not, like, just hit me up on Instagram or awaken_Sponda or Creatrix Girl, or come to a meditation, come to a ceremony, like, come check it out. Just, I always want to encourage people to explore new things. Like, that's what expansion's all about. Like, try it. You can't go wrong without, with trying something new,
Agreed. Well, like she said, hit her up, awaken Sponda _Sponda, AWAKEN_SPANDA, and or Creatrix Girl.
Creatrix Girl. Yep.
CREATRIX.
Yep.
GIRL.
Yep. Glitch is coming.
Yep, look out for Glitch coming soon, produced by Jerry Feels Good, featuring Girl, and I did some mixing and mastering.
You get Dougie on there.
Oh yeah, Dougie.
Backup.
And Matt Tootin.
And Matt. It took a team. It took the fam to get it together.
Yep, so look forward to that.
I'm excited to share it.
Yeah, good. Excited. All right, well, thank you once again.
Yeah.
And We'll catch y'all next time.